Exactly.
So welcome, Ryan.
Please welcome up Ryan Deiss.
Ryan, you are on. Woo.
Thanks, sir.
Great.
Thank you, Ryan.
Thanks, guys. I think this is mine, right? This one? Okay, good. How y'all doing? Good? That's me. I do want to talk about the future of marketing and specifically how to sell without making everybody hate you. It's critical now more than ever because now when they do dislike you, they make sure to talk about it a whole lot. And thankfully, with the way that marketing works today, it can be done. I'll tell you a little bit about me, even though I know most of you don't actually care, but it's somewhat relevant to some of the other things I'm going to talk about. So I am the co-founder and CEO of DigitalMarketer.com, where we talk about digital marketing. I'm also one of the co-founders and chairman of NativeCommerce.com. Some of our native commerce brands are these. We literally sell everything from survival knives to makeup brushes to crossbows. We own sewing.com, homemaderecipes.com, bunch of media startups and e-commerce companies. What's cool, though, is this is actually where it began. You guys are all local Austin people, right? You got any UT grads in here? Okay, anybody know what building that is? It's directly, if you got Jester to your back, you're staring at this one. It's Moore Hill Dormitory. So this is actually where I started all this stuff that we're doing today. It was room 306 at Moore Hill Dorm College, campus of University of Texas. And the reason that I started my businesses was not because I wanted to be this amazing entrepreneur. I started my businesses because my freshman year, I met a girl. Now, this is a picture of me in full-body blue spandex. I will tell you, if you want to meet women, gentlemen, full-body blue spandex. It works. Look at me. I've never been more cool than I was at that particular moment in time. So it was a futuristic theme party. The year was 1999, and I decided that I was going to go to this party as Millennium Man. So I went down to the Buffalo Exchange, the little thrift store on the drag, and I bought some secondhand spandex. I know what you're thinking, surely you washed it. Answer, of course not. Why would I do that? I'm in college, you don't wash clothes. Duct taped an M on my chest, and I was Millennium Man. What I love most about this picture is that it actually documents the moment right before I met my now wife, who incidentally is that one. So what's really cool is this picture was taken, and I turned to my left and I said, "Hi, I'm Ryan," and she said, "Hi, I'm Emily," and that was like literally moments right before we formally met. So freshman year, right? Freshman year, I had just turned 19, and I'm broke. But you're in college. You're supposed to be broke. Even if you're rich, you pretend like you're broke, right? So I'm there. I'm in college, and I'm fine, like being broke. But I knew. So I've been dating this girl now for 2 weeks. And I knew within 2 weeks that she was probably the girl that I was going to marry. Now, I didn't tell her that because that's called creepy, right? Now, you laugh, but some of us are being creepy on the reg. So I knew within 2 weeks she was probably the girl I was going to marry. I figured I need to figure out some ways to make some extra cash, and that was why I started these stupid little websites at the time selling random things. I had little ebooks on how to make your own baby food. I was going in, it's funny, we're in the Google Fiber building. Google was brand new, and you could actually find out what people were searching for. They would tell you, there were tools. You could find out what are people searching for. So I'd look, what are the main things that people were searching for? I'd go into Google, I'd type it up, and if there wasn't much being ranked there, I said, cool. Then I'll go and create a book on that subject or have a little piece of software developed on that subject, and I'll sell it, right? So I was buying AdWords ads before there was AdWords and doing all that fun stuff. So it's been a pretty incredible journey. Long story short, got the ring, got the girl, we got those. Then I got to where I don't get those no mo. I'll let you fill in the blanks. And so speaking of like lots of kids and stuff like that, I want to talk to you about, my main message I want to talk about is intimacy. Right? Intimacy. Has anybody ever read this book? Intimate Behavior by Desmond Morris. Desmond Morris is a zoologist who decided he wanted to study the human animal, right? And specifically, how do intimate relationships come about with the human animal? And what he found that was so fascinating is that intimacy is developed through a series of 12 stages. Okay, 12 stages. Starts out eye to body. right? You see someone and you notice that they're attractive. Now it's eye to eye. Ooh, we've made eye contact. Now it's hand to hand, shaking hand to body, right? You get all the way down to where it gets pretty PG-13. I'll let you figure it out. The point is 12 stages, right? 12 stages. He found that this is how intimacy is developed, through these 12 stages. And the most fascinating part of the story, though, wasn't just the 12 stages. He realized that the rate, the pace through which people moved through these stages had nothing to do with the success of that relationship. In other words, you could start at stage 1, proceed all the way to stage 12 in a single evening, and both parties would still say that was a successful relationship. It's also known as a one-night stand, right? So the issue was not the pace, the rate through which people moved through the stages that determined its effectiveness and its success. It was, did you skip a stage? Did you skip a stage? And what he found in this study is that if you skipped more than 2, it was assault. If you skipped more than 2, it was assault. I submit to you that many of you in this room, if you're small business owners, are assaulting your customers on a regular basis. And you don't realize it, you don't think about it, but this is why they're getting upset. Okay? We're not clearly thinking through what are the stages of the customer journey and then designing our marketing to fit those stages, designing our marketing to seamlessly and subtly move them through those stages. So this is what most marketers are doing, right? This is what most small business owners are doing. For my first date, I was hoping we could pick out the names for our children, right? I made a joke earlier. You guys were kind enough to laugh. It was totally true. I knew within 2 weeks that this was the girl that I wanted to marry, but I didn't tell her that because that's called creepy. You all laughed because we all acknowledge that's freaking creepy, right? And yet we do it all the time. We do it all the time. Hi, welcome to my website. Want to buy something? No, I don't freaking know you yet, okay? I don't know you yet. Now, this reality has, brought about an overreaction that I'll talk to in just a little bit, but this is the big point that I hope you get. It does hurt to ask, okay? If you go out to Rainy Street or whatever, gentlemen, and you say, hi, nice to meet you, my name's Bob, want to go back to my place and get freaky, right? And you get slapped, and I hope you do. You can't go, oh, just kidding, can I buy you a drink, right? There's no going back from that. You're a perv, you're a weirdo. Nobody likes you. So it does hurt to ask. It does hurt to ask. We have to be very careful about where are we asking for things at the particular stage. So the overreaction to this is what you're seeing with a lot of inbound marketers, right? A lot of inbound marketers, content marketers, just give, and eventually they'll come back and they'll buy from you. No, homie, you just got friend zoned. And you're once in the friend zone, you don't get out of the friend zone, right? So, here's how to not be that guy, either guy. Not be the friend zone guy and not be the kiku, right? Yeah. Let's talk about how to build relational equity in marketing. How to market and actually have people like you. Market and actually have people like you. There are 4 main ways to do it. The first way is to make people laugh. This is not a new concept. How many of you remember this?
Yo. What's that? What's that?
Am I the only one who's old enough to remember this? Come on.
Hold on. Hello?
Now the funny thing is not only...
So what's up, B? Watching the game, having a bud. True.
All right. Not only did this make people laugh, it interestingly enough also sold beer. Now that's a notable distinction. Lots of ads make us laugh, but oftentimes the ads that make us laugh don't actually move the needle in terms of sales. This is an example that did. It's an example that did. But this is hard to do. That's why Madison ad agencies get paid a fortune to do this. Does anybody remember the Quiznos ad that was like Roadkill singing? We love you subs because they are good for... Does anybody remember this? They got a pepper bar. Some of you remember this. Google it, all right? Quiznos, freaking out of business, right? And I think it's maybe because they had Roadkill as a spokesperson, all right? So being funny doesn't always work, and it doesn't always move the needle in sales, but it's one of the ways to build relational equity. Has anybody seen this spot, right? Poopery. Google it if you don't know. I'm not going to talk about it. Kind of disgusting. But we went to a home goods show because we're in the home goods space. Their booth was busier than any other booth. any other booth out there, right? How about this one? You seen this one, the Squatty Potty? Squatty Potty, this commercial, right? Now, I know what you're thinking. You know, it worked. Squatty Potty, the greatest viral ad in internet history. Know what you're thinking? What if my product has nothing to do with poop? I don't know what to tell you. You're probably not going to be that funny because poop is hilarious. But if it doesn't, one of the things that you can do is laugh at yourself, right? Can you laugh at yourself? Every year, we put out a bloopers reel at the company. There's me dancing like an idiot, right? If you're willing to laugh at yourself, then your customers will laugh with you, not at you, and they appreciate that transparency. So if you're willing to laugh at yourself and be a little bit transparent, show them that. That's one way to build brand equity. Laugh at yourself if you can't be funny. Method number 2, make them cry. Who's old enough to remember the unbelievably sappy tear-jerker long-distance ads of the 1980s? Anybody remember that? Oh my God. Do you remember the one with Bear Bryant, coach of Alabama? Have you called your mama today? I sure wish I could. Oh my God, man. Right? Make them cry. Make them cry. The point is, can your product or service elicit an emotional response? You want an example that's not quite so forced? We got any cosmetic dentists in here? Just on the off chance? Okay, good. That would be kind of funny if they did. There is a cosmetic dentist here in town. Their entire commercial is people sitting in a dentist chair, holding a mirror, weeping. You can't even see their teeth. You can't, because the mirror is blocking it. But what you see is the reaction of them weeping tears of joy because they had this jacked up grill and now they can smile again, right? That's powerful. Does your product or service move people to tears or move them to laughter? All right, does it? Think about it. Have you ever had somebody show up at your place of business and like, thank you. Tell that story. That's a story that needs to be told. Other people need to hear that, right? Do you move someone emotionally? Do you realize that the vast majority of people on planet Earth are bored out of their minds only every minute, every day? Right? It's true. It's true. Give them something, right? Give them something that'll make them smile and make them cry and move them emotionally. Method number 3, make them feel a part of something. Who remembers the Super Bowl ad, the Apple Super Bowl ad, right? On January 24th, Apple Computer will introduce Macintosh, and you'll see why 1984 won't be like 1984. There's a whole generation of people that suffered through the dark days of Apple. Terrible products, bad service because of this one spot. If you haven't seen it, go to YouTube, look it up. Right? Apple Super Bowl ad 1984. It's one of the most amazing ads that's ever been produced. Ridley Scott, I think, produced it, right? But what it said is hey, if you don't want to be like everyone else, if you want to be different, then we're the computer for you. This is what we stand for, and that, all this 1984 dystopian stuff, that's what we stand against. If you don't want to be like that, you want to be one of us, we're Apple, join us. And without realizing it, if you buy Apple product today, you are largely doing it because you want to be perceived as an individual, even though you're just quite literally just like everybody else, right? You got the same freaking white phone that everybody else does. Congratulations, right? Look at how 1984, right? How long ago was that? Amazing. So the question I have for you is, do your customers know what you believe? Do they know what you believe? We've produced a video at our company that we're redoing the site right now, but we're not going to have an About Us page. We're having a We Believe page. And if you want to see it, it's up on YouTube, Digital Marketer We Believe, right? Feel free to look at it. And all it is, Digital Marketer, here are the things that we believe. And it's funny stuff and it's stupid stuff. It's we believe that if you buy something from us and it isn't a fit, you should get your money back even if it's your fault. We believe that the duck-billed platypus is proof that God has a sense of humor. We believe in giving people the benefit of the doubt, right? It's what we believe. But we're planting flags and we're saying, here's what we believe. Now, what does this have to do with digital marketing? For the most part, nothing, right? Nothing. But what does it have to do with people wanting to become attached to and associated with us and our brand? Everything. We've shown this at our events, and we've had our customers like weeping, like, yes, that's me, you're talking to me. And like, God dang, this is some powerful stuff, okay? Do your customers know what you believe? Maybe a better question, do you believe anything? Or are you just trying to sell stuff? right? Do you believe anything? Or are you just trying to sell stuff? Method number 4, here's a wacky, zany idea. Deliver actual value in advance. Deliver actual, legitimate value in advance. Crazy concept, I know. But this is another way to build relational equity in your marketing. To give first, ask later. Give first and ask later. In other words, give them valuable, usable content before you ask them for money. I want you to write this down. Content amplification. Content amplification, because this is the future of marketing. This is the future of advertising. Have an amazing piece of content, drive advertising to the content. But wait, by content you mean a disguised sales message? No, I mean content. Wait, by content you mean they need to opt in first to get the content? No, I mean real live content. By content you mean they need to give me money and then I give them the content? No! Actual, real, live, value in advance, ungated content. Ungated content. Tell you a very, very quick story about how I learned this as a kid. So, used to go down to the beach all the time with my dad. We're cruising down the beach, and one day, hot day, soft sand, car gets stuck. So we're stuck in the sand, and it's me, I'm like 12. I'm not gonna be much help pushing a car out, and it's not like my dad can get in, and I'll just drive this thing out. I'm 12, right? We're stuck. Thankfully, coming around the corner is a guy in a big truck with a winch on the front of his truck. Pulls up, says, hey, you guys stuck in the sand? Nah, man, we're just freaking chilling here. Yes, we're stuck. My dad didn't actually say that yet. Yes, we are. Want some help getting out? Yes, boy, that sure would be great. Okay, cool. Guy goes, pulls his car up, pulls his truck up, starts to hook it up, looks up at my dad and says, you know, I'm not a tow truck driver, so I can't technically ask you to pay me, but let's just say I could work a little bit faster, maybe be a little more efficient if, you were to help me out a little bit. Now, my dad's a good, honest man. I've never seen him more enraged in his entire life. But this guy had us. Okay, here you go. He had us. But that was a transaction. That was quid pro quo. You give me money, I'll pull you out of the sand. And he did, and we went on with our day. All right? But what if that hadn't happened? Right? What if instead that person had just pulled us out of the sand? What do you think my dad would have done? Think he would have given him some money? Heck yeah. You think he might have given him more money than he gave him when he forced him into it? Almost certainly, right? But here's the problem as a business owner. As a business owner, you cannot rely on the kindness of strangers. You can't do it. You can when you get to a certain level. For the most part, you can't really do it. But what if the guy pulls us out of the sand, my dad offers him money, and he says, no, sir, no, sir, no, sir. It was my privilege, my pleasure. No, thank you. No, thank you. Refuses. And drives off. Right? How much relational equity would he have built up at that moment in my dad? But how are you going to tap into it, right? He's gone. But what if at that exact moment, some like Jimmy Buffett dude with a parrot on his shoulder, right? You got the mental image, right? Walks up from the beach and says, hey guys, so I see you met Jimmy. Oh, Jimmy, was that his name? Yeah, God dang, we didn't even get the guy's name. Yep, Jimmy, great kid. Doesn't surprise me at all that he helped you out. By the way, I don't know where you're going to dinner tonight, but Jimmy's actually a waiter at Shell's, some of the best food on the island. I bet Jimmy get a kick out of it if you went to dinner there tonight and requested his table. How big a tip is Jimmy gonna get, right? How big a tip is Jimmy gonna get? A big, big tip. But in addition to not being able to rely on the kindness of strangers, as business owners, we also can't rely on the kindness of random Jimmy Buffett-like characters walking up with parrots. Or can we, right? I submit to you that we can. Retargeting. How many of you have heard of retargeting? Retargeting. If you haven't heard of it, you've experienced it. You ever gone to a website and all of a sudden those ads are following you all over the internet? That's called retargeting. You went there, tracking pixel got set, now you're seeing those ads. It's one of the most effective, highest ROI forms of advertising, and as a small business owner, if you're not doing it, you must hate money. I can't come up with any other reason why, especially when you're done here. Retargeting is what makes it possible. Retargeting is that Jimmy Buffett parrot guy. And this is how content amplification works. Put out an amazing piece of content and drive advertising to it. That's right, advertise to truly amazing, astounding pieces of content. It could be a video, it could be a report, it could be a blog post, it could be a frequently asked questions page. I don't care, amazing piece of content. You don't want to amplify sucky content. You'll just be spending money to show people you suck, okay? Amazing content, add to said amazing piece of content. Now, when they arrive on this page, something magical is going to happen. a retargeting pixel is going to be set. Google offers retargeting. Facebook offers retargeting. But when they hit this page, tracking pixels now are following them, and they know. So if you can go into Google, you can go into Facebook, and you could say, I want to run this ad, right? I want to run this ad to anybody who came to this page. There's Jimmy Buffett with the parrot on his shoulder. We don't have to rely on the kindness of strangers. We can rely on the kindness of Google and Facebook who gave us retargeting, okay? Now, will some people click on banner ads and go over and fill out opt-in forms and now they're on our list and buying our stuff? Yep. But if they don't, you have retargeting. This is how, as business owners, we can give value in advance in a strategic way. So the goal is not to convert. The goal is to indoctrinate, engage, and hopefully amaze. The conversion happens later. So if you only remember one thing, remember this. Start building your pixeled audience. It is free to set the pixel. Start building your pixeled audience. If you don't know how to do it, Google how to set a pixel, all right? In Facebook and Google, it'll come up. It's easy. It's one line of code. Once a pixel's set, you can follow up with your prospects even if you don't have their email address. So retargeting is how we balance branding and direct response. Retargeting is how we give value in advance strategically. Retargeting is how we market without making people hate us. And it's how we deliver value in advance without going broke in the process. And I submit to you that the future of marketing isn't about who can get the most eyeballs the cheapest. It's who has the most people pixeled. It's who has the most people pixeled. It is one of the greatest things that's been given to small business owners. With that, thank you so much for your time, and have a great rest of the day. Thank you.